Well, hello again everybody, Found91E here for another bonus video for my Disney news and reviews, but this one has more of a point. Recently, a YouTuber known as OperaCat21 asked me some questions. She said she liked the videos and she was going down for her honeymoon, which is a great thing to do, going down to Disney World for your honeymoon. But she had some questions, and I figured they were general questions. And with her permission, I am going to answer a few of these general questions. So now this is probably going to be a two-part thing, just because I tend to ramble on, and these are questions that are important. So without any further ado, let me just get to the questions, shall we? Let's do it. Okay, now this isn't really so much of a question, but it's something I wanted to mention. She said she hasn't been back to Disney since it was 94, since 94, and the first time I went to Disney World was in 1990, and yes, Disney has changed a lot. There are new things, completely renovated things, completely new parks since 1990 and 1994. So going down, if you haven't been there in a while, going down now would be a perfect time, because Disney's always expanding and always growing. So now would be the perfect time to go if you haven't been there in a while. So if you really want to go down to Disney World, check it out. Alright, question 1. Why am I into Disney World so much? Well, it's not just the fact that I'm into Disney World so much, as more I'm so into Disney so much. It mainly started when I was a kid, and back when we used to have cable and only one TV. We used to have cable, and the only extra channel that we got was the Disney Channel, and that was back when you had to pay for the Disney Channel. So I had that, and I used to prefer Disney over Warner Brothers. The Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. I preferred Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. So I used to watch a lot of the shows, and I used to get really into it. And then when my grandfather first laid it on us that we were going to Disney World, I got really excited. I went down. It was my first time down there. I think I was 4 years old, had no clue what was going on. I just was in awe of everything. Some 4-year-olds cry at the fact that when they go up to meet Mickey Mouse, because they're scared of the fact that it's a 5-foot mouse. Not me. I didn't care. I was so happy because I was immersed in this Disney World, and I got to go on rides, Pirates of the Caribbean and whatnot, and I just loved it. And I went again in, I think it was 5th grade. 5th grade, I think I was 12, around there, and we went down again, and I had an even better time. And I found out that as I grew older, I really noticed a lot more and really understood a lot more and appreciated it more. And now, I had always been a Disney fan, but it was really then that I had really sunk into me, the seed was planted that I was going to be a Disney fan for life. I went back down with my dad. It wasn't until I went back down with my dad in '06 that I really appreciated it. I was 18 then, and I think, no, it was '04? What? No, I was 20. Yeah, it was '06, and I was 20 years old. It was only then that I really started to notice all the small things, and it's the big things when you're a kid that you notice, but and appreciate it. But it's the small things you notice when you're older that you appreciate. I noticed, just everybody was happy. Everybody's happy down in Disney World. Everybody loves being there. Of course, you're going to find, some people just who aren't really into Disney that much, and they, and they're like, oh, I don't want to be here, blah, 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 blah. Somebody flipping out over a $3 bottle of water. You'll see kids crying because they don't want to leave and whatnot. You know, that's just standard stuff. But you know, for the most part, when you're down there, everybody's happy. Everything's clean. I'm telling you, I think Disney World, you know, is in a bubble. You know, because everything's cleaner. The air smells fresher down there. It's just, it's great. You know, everything's precise and on schedule. Everything is, you know, it's a dream. You know, it's a dream world, and that's exactly what the Disney Corporation and Walt Disney wanted. They wanted a world that you could pluck you out of this real world and take you into here, and you just in a wow, you know, just in a daze. So that's why I like Disney World so much, because it's so much more than just a theme park. You know, I've always said that there's two types of parks in the world. There's amusement parks and theme parks. Amusement parks are like Six Flags. They really have no theme. They're just rides for ride's sake. You know, there's no point to the ride except for, you know, who has the taller, fastest roller coaster. Disney World is a theme park. There's a theme to everything. You know, Pirates of the Caribbean is a themed ride, but in the themed section of it. You know, there's, you know, Disney's not trying for, you know, the biggest, tallest, fastest roller coaster in the world, because they know not everybody's going to be able to get on it. And if everybody can't get on it and have a good time, then what's the point? You know, that's what Disney wants. They want everybody to have a great time, to enjoy themselves, and that's why they keep, you know, they are the standard. That's why everybody wishes and saves to go to Disney World, and nobody wishes and saves to go to Six Flags. They, you know, people can go to Six Flags on a weekend. You go to Disney World for a week. There's a big difference, you know. But that's why, you know. So there it is. All right. How often do I go? I kind of mentioned that in the earlier question. I go as often as I can, because I am not rich by any means whatsoever. I can't afford to go every year or every holiday. I know people that do. They go every holiday, and they seem to be spoiled for it, you know. They take everything for granted. Like, I've always thought of Disney World as the place to go. If I don't go anywhere else, I go to Disney World, because that's the pinnacle of where to go, and you have to save to go. You have to, there's a lot to go, but when you're there, you appreciate it. That's what I've always been, you know, I've always thought of Disney World as the pinnacle, the reason of reasons to go. If that makes sense, you know, because it's kind of hard to describe what I'm thinking in my head to come out to my mouth. It's kind of hard, but I've always thought, yeah, like, okay, Disney World is the place. Like, you save, you know, all your money that you can, and then you go and you have a great time. I just never understood the fact that, you know, people could go down every, like, you know, twice a year. It's like, but you just were there, nothing's changed. But Disney changes every so often, and that's the best time to go when stuff changes. I went in 1990. I went in I say 98, and then I went in 06, and then 2008. The shortest time between either of my trips have been 2 years. So, you know, if I were to go back, I'd go back in 2010. It's 2 years. You know, and stuff will be changing. You know, Space Mountain's going through renovations right now. You know, they're going through dramatic renovations. So when I go back down, it's essentially the same ride, but it's a different experience. You know, Disney's always adding, and that's what I like. So I don't go on any regular basis. I go when I can. I save all my money, and I make it this big trip, because it is a big trip. It's not just a vacation spot, you know, a weekend vacation spot. To me, no, Disney's more than that. It deserves more. But that's just because I'm a huge Disney fan. I just like the fact that everybody's happy. You know, I feel home. I feel at home there. You mean everybody feels at home there. Nobody's, you know, looked at differently. Everybody's treated the same, and that's great. So, yeah, that's how often I go.